All right, welcome to the Landlord Tenant Show with Miss Arendi and Miss Kita. And today's topic is the responsibility of the property manager versus the landlord. Now, I'm going to say this because I'm not sure. On a previous episode, I don't know if I stated that this topic today was going to be stay out of owner's business. If I did, my apologies. We're taking that back for now because I forgot why we said that. Anywho, let's move on. So, again, today's episode will be about the responsibility of the property manager versus the landlord. And since Arendi is a property manager, why don't you share some insight as to the difference between the two? Take it away.
Well, the whole purpose of a landlord hiring a property manager is to act as the landlord.
Okay.
When you mix that and still commingle with the tenants, it causes confusion.
You mean the landlord?
Yeah. When the landlord is like constantly taking calls from the tenant, talking back and forth they having conversation with the tenant that the property manager knows nothing about. And then they got to hear it. The property manager has to hear it from the tenant. Well, Mr. Lawrence said it's okay if I pay on the 15th of every month.
Okay, when that has not been communicated.
Yeah. Right. Well, per our agreement, you're late as of the 5th of every month.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And he has not called the office and say, oh, tenant A is okay to pay on the 15th of every month, you know?
Right.
It just causes a big confusion. It's almost like a child asking mom for some Kool-Aid. And mom say, no, go sit down. I'm going to go ask my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, got some Kool-Aid? And instead of the daddy saying, what did your mama say?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one band, one sound.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, one band, one sound.
Yeah. Instead, they like, go ahead. And then the mama see him with the Kool-Aid. What you doing with Kool-Aid? I said you can't have nothing. Daddy said I can have some. Well,
you know how children can be.
The same as tenants.
So tenants gonna act like children because they can't get their way with the property manager, so they'll go to the landlord.
Exactly.
So notice to the landlords that do have property managers, stay out the business if you want a property manager running your homes. If that is the case, then yeah, you should be doing one of these numbers. You need to refer to such and such, the property manager, for any questions you may have. Any calls made to me, she will deliver or he will deliver that information to me, and we can get that situation resolved. Because the thing about it is, if there's no meeting of the minds as to who's doing what, and the left hand don't know what the right hand is doing, and the left foot, right foot, hokey pokey, whatever the case may be, then it becomes an issue and it becomes a bunch of conflicts. And at that point, I don't know if a property manager even want to manage. Do you ever get to the point where you say, you know what?
Take your properties and have a great day.
Right, exactly. Like
I do.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, some people some people are worried about that money, and they're like, I don't want to lose the money off of this. You're only getting a certain percentage, but it's just like, come on.
But your sanity and your reputation and your integrity is worth way more than the money.
Yeah. Like I say, all money ain't good money. But for whatever reason, I don't know. You know how some people like, I got to get that bag. I got to, I got to do this, that, and the third. And I think people need to stop worrying about that so much. I don't know what's on people's brains. Like, there's other opportunities. Because sometimes when you close one door, another one will open.
The pandemic should have showed everyone that the bag is not as important as you make it. You know how many people had plenty of bags and couldn't do nothing with them but buy some food?
Right.
During the whole pandemic. You can't do nothing but get fat. Just buy some food. We eating good out here.
DoorDash and Grubhub. Uber eating.
Yep. Grocery store.
Right. Shipped.
Yeah.
Instacart.
Yeah. It It wasn't no malls open.
It was nothing open.
Yeah.
Nobody, but you know what? Another thing that it should have let you know that, sometimes you need to take time for yourself and understand that, yeah, you may be out there trying to get the bag. You may be working 7 days or whatever the case may be. But what is it worth it to you if your health needs to, if you have to, I'm sorry, if your health is involved and really you need to be taking care of yourself, making sure you have those moments of relaxation. Self-care is something that people don't even promote that. Well, they're promoting it now. But self-care, I think that pandemic made people realize that they don't give themselves self-care enough self-care, so to speak. And it's just like, come on, I need you to, I need to give myself a massage at least once a month. Hell, I need to do that for myself now while we talking. I'm glad I had some time off work, but dang, at the same time, even when I got time off work, I'm still working.
Yeah.
So just because I got a primary doesn't mean I'm not doing anything after the fact. And to make that assumption is kind of foul. So yeah, self-care is important for us to even, we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in all that we do. I don't care what line of business you're in. Self-care is important, and no money can sit there and take care of your health the way you do self-care.
Do you remember the old school movies when you would see like the girl with her hair wrapped up and she was like polishing her toenails on the tub, and she had a mask on her face, giving herself a facial, and she was like, no, I'm not coming out tonight because I'm pampering myself. And whatever happened to that?
Yeah, so yeah.
Everybody's so like ready to leave home. Like, no, I'm out of here.
Just to be going somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's why people got problems now, because they don't want to be at home. Home's supposed to be a place of refuge. And so in that, you're supposed to be able to come home and be able to let your hair down, so to speak. You're supposed to be able to, excuse my French, fart and nobody be tripping. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just like, because you're in your own space.
If you haven't turned that house into a home, then it's almost impossible to even be comfortable there. It's just a place where you sleep. It's just shelter.
True. Well,
I've been seeing that a lot with like tenants. They just like exist in a home. Like it's very seldom they like make it a home. It's like almost like a gypsy.
She said like a gypsy.
Yeah, like, we're not gonna be here long. Once we fuck the walls up, it's over.
but that's an issue. So as a landlord, I don't know how happy I would be to deal with that type of tenant. You know what I'm saying? And I think in dealing with that versus being a property manager, a lot of times I think landlords probably get too much of their emotions involved, depending on the type of tenants that they have.
They don't hire, landlords don't hire property managers until they're tired.
But I think a lot of times the tenants that they decide to put in these homes is someone that they probably either know or somebody that they know kind of thing.
The issue is the difference between a property manager and a landlord is the professionalism.
Okay, I can agree with that.
So you go to a company, to a building, and you fill out an application to rent said property. The clerk at the front desk, you don't know who owned this house unless you did your homework.
Right.
But you do know that you're talking to a property manager.
Right.
Versus calling a private landlord, because that's a big thing online now. People are looking for private landlords.
Is that so they can hoodwink them or something, or try to appeal to their emotions?
Yes. Because as a property manager, company, building, corporate, ma'am, you didn't pay, you don't stay. A private landlord, I may be able to break out my violin on you, Lakita. I may be able to be like, I got these kids. I don't know what we gonna do. I could give you $50 today and several payments of $50.
What, to get to my 1,000? And shoot, that ain't even the average rate.
Every month, I'll be able to give you a few more dollars. And you may be like, you may go home and sleep on it and be like, damn, you know, she got them kids. Where they gonna go? This is crazy. I'm gonna help her. But what happens is landlords do that so much that now the passion and the drive and the, you know, zest they have for their properties has changed.
Is that they lost it?
Yeah.
Lost in the sauce.
Yeah, they lost it. It's like, gotta fix this house up again.
But that's kind of sad though. Like I don't know. I find it to be kind of bad that me as a landlord got to sit here and now you're appealing to my emotions, and because I have compassion and I got to make decisions based on what you weren't able to do. You know, there's a book called The Subtle Way of Not Giving you know what. And I think it's necessary to kind of look at that book. And the only reason why I say that is because I think it's necessary, and it's not to be mean, but I think people need to understand that sometimes your problem is not my problem. And it's not to be mean, but get your stuff together. You need to get your ish together. And it's not to be mean, but I can only, my thing is, I'm one of the people, I'll probably be one of those people, and I can see myself giving you a little rope. But I'm only going to give you so much rope, and at the end of that rope, either you're going to hang yourself or you're going to figure out how to tie a knot and hold on and get yourself together. But if I'm giving you time, I'm probably not going to give you that much time. But I don't want to be frustrated as a landlord. So me personally, I could see myself saying, you know what, Randy, take my property because I'm about to choke somebody because they're not even doing what they're supposed to do. And they sitting here using these doggone excuses. And I want to care. It's bad that I care. And sometimes I don't want to care. But because I care, I need you to take it off me so you can give them what I can't give them, which is the bluntness of you need to either pay or get out.
The problem is it comes down to the money. Landlords are like, oh, why am I giving up 20%? I could do this, I could do that. Yeah, but the minute you start getting them calls in the middle of the night. See, as a property manager, if we don't say we have 24-hour maintenance, you're going to call me at 9 o'clock a.m., between 9 and 5. That's your window.
Mm-hmm.
As a private landlord, you're going to call me when the toilet breaks. I don't care what time it is. Hello, Mr. Fred? Yeah, so the window is broke over here. The toilet is broke over here. Something over here is running. It's 9:30 at night. Now, Mr. Fred, like, oh, man. She said the toilet broke. They over there can't flush the toilet. Now he want to get out his bed and run over there with a plunger.
Well, hence why you should have a business phone and be specific about saying my business hours are from 9 to 5. Whatever issues you may have, leave a message and I will get back with you tomorrow. And it's just as plain as that. Now that I will do, because what you're not going to do is sit here and stress me on something that happened in the middle of the night or whatever the case, whatever the time is. Because to me, I feel like, okay, I can't take care of it right now. Hence, like I said, I will be giving that to property information and property management to somebody like yourself, because I will not be disturbed, and I'm not trying to deal with that. Because now I don't want to get cutthroat, but I feel like I need to have somebody cutthroat in order to make sure that they handle the business with these tenants. And it's like, okay, somebody need to get their life together, and it ain't me.
Yeah, but see, that's the reason why I feel like even if you're a private landlord, you need to show up as a property manager.
So that goes back to the professionalism, and
Yeah.
you need to let that be known. But see, I guess in some sense they shouldn't even present themselves as the landlord.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
You should be the property manager.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, you need to be managing your own property.
Right.
Most of the times people put their property in their corporation name. So you're a manager over this property. You don't really own the property no way. Your corporation does.
Right.
So you should be straight out of the gate a property manager.
Right.
9 to 5. You know what I mean? And not be subject to Miss Holly, so you just gonna throw me and my kids out like that? No, ma'am, you threw you and your kids out by not paying.
Right. Yeah.
Have a great day.
Pretty much.
Because you was having a great day when you was spending my rent money. You was spending money that you knew was due to me. But because you think I'm nice, oh, she'll wait.
And see, then that brings on the court situation. And I remember you was talking about that yesterday when we were in our meeting, and that whole breakdown. And I recall when we had to do that when remember when we had to go down to court when Benji Gates had all those properties. And we had to go to court to see if they were going to pay, or they're going to stay, or whatever the case may be, after they've been given notice and they hadn't come down to kind of make arrangements. That whole ordeal is not something I want to be a part of. Because I was like, okay, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm signing these people, what, huh? Find their name, what, who? Okay, what's your property address? And you did, okay, so you want to make arrangements? Oh, okay, well, you gotta go before the judge, wait till your name is called. Oh my gosh. That was some years ago, but I just, yeah, I didn't like that process at all. But I think it's irritating. Like, I gotta go to court to get you out because you didn't pay rent.
I didn't have to go to court to get you in here.
Right.
Yeah. Professional tenants.
And then that's costly in itself. And the thing about it is, how do you recoup that money? Because, I mean, if the tenant decides to stay and say, hey, I just fell on hard times, whatever the case may be. And that may be the truth. But at what point this is like, okay, how do I recoup the money that I just spent on court from you lacking in paying me rent?
Some cases they allow you to put that in your judgment. That you may never get. But it's in there.
With like swimwear. I don't know. I don't get it at all. Yeah. But again, that goes back to the professionalism. And I think that, like you were saying, that I think people need to pose themselves as a property manager instead of being the landlord. Because you got a lot of slum lords out here. But you also have ones that are about their business. The ones that are tired, and I don't really want to call them slum lords, but if you're tired of managing their property, they need to go ahead and let somebody else do it that'll be on top of the game. I don't see why that doesn't make sense, because you want all the money.
Yeah.
So my thing is, you rather not give up that whatever the percentage rate that the property manager costs, but you rather have the headache of dealing with all the other stuff that comes with that small percentage.
Yeah, momentarily.
Okay. I just want to make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because I'm sorry, if it's $1,000 rent and I'm giving a property manager $200, 20%, I don't understand why $800 is, I don't know. To me, that's a good deal. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, one thing for sure, they get caught up on the fees the money. They get caught up on responsibility,
Mm.
you know, and a lot of times property managers get worn out
Mm-hmm.
because again, they not only acting as a owner over your property, but other properties.
Right.
You know, showings. It's a whole business behind it. And a
Which is
lot of
why it's your
times
business.
landlords don't have that type of time.
True.
You know, you have landlords that's living in New York and got 30 properties in Detroit.
Or living in another country.
You up here in Baghdad and you own half a Hamtramck.
Wow. So, question. Now, if I'm a landlord, what do you suggest a time when a landlord should go to a property manager? And I mean it as far as like how many properties, because I know somebody and they have like a few properties. And it's like, oh, I won't get no landlord. And I'm like, why not? But they only have the few. They don't think it's worth it. When do you believe it's worth it? Like how many properties should a landlord have?
It's worth it if you have one. Because a lot of landlords have full-time jobs. Yeah. Now you mad. Now you mad every time your tenant call you. Because you at work getting told what to do. And then you got a tenant that's calling you trying to tell you what to do. You need to get over here and fix this hot water tank. You like, well, what happened to the hot water tank?
Right. Yeah. I agree with you. Like it should be, even if I just have the one property, somebody else should manage it. Even if you are within, in the same proximity or whatever, same area, city, or even, the metropolitan area, whatever the case may be. But, some people want to get all that bread and, I don't know what their expenditures are, but it's just like, I don't want the headache. I don't know. But I tell you what, yeah, I'm in no rush for none of that. That's probably why I'm not a landlord. I just rather flip it and sell. Hey, I just flipped the house. Hey, you want to buy? Oh, you interested? Yeah. Yeah, take that, please. Yeah. I love people, but in doses. Let me just be clear. I only love people in doses because I'm sorry. Too much of you calling me about something that, that probably is your fault. Because my thing is, if I don't put everything in there new, then why would I sit up there? Why should there be a problem 30 days down the line? I mean, come on now. But anyway, folks, you know what? Today's lesson is you should get your property manager. If you are a landlord, you should get your property manager. You know why? It's better to just not have that headache. Because you're dealing with people who probably, tenants who probably act like children. Because, of course, they're going to play both sides as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So, really, if you can afford to, and some of y'all can afford to, y'all just, like what you like, and that's fine. Nobody's knocking that. But you probably need to kind of give up a couple of them ducats and get you a property manager, even if you only have one property. So, we haven't decided on what the next episode will be, but I tell you what, we will tune in and we'll let you know for next time. All right, you guys have a great evening. Bye. By the way, this is the Landlord Tenant Show with Miss Arendi and Miss Kita. I forgot to say that. Please forgive me. But we will see you next time. You guys have a great evening.